Number 10. In January 2015, a 32-year-old gamer from Taiwan died from cardiac arrest after a marathon 3-day gaming binge. Even worse, workers at the internet cafe didn't discover that he was dead for hours. He'd been known to sleep face down on the table during his gaming binges, but when workers found him sprawled out and unresponsive, they finally sent him to the hospital. Authorities believe that cold temperatures and overexhaustion from the long hours spent playing games likely contributed to his cardiac arrest. Number 9. While at a beach in Buxton, North Carolina, Daniel Jones dug an 8-foot hole for protection from the wind and had been sitting in a beach chair at the bottom. Suddenly, it collapsed, burying him beneath 5 feet of sand. People on the beach used their hands and shovels trying to get him out but could not reach him. It took rescue workers using heavy equipment almost an hour to free him. Jones was pronounced dead at a hospital. Number 8. A 38-year-old lawyer from Toronto, Canada fell to his death in 1993 after he threw himself against a window on the 24th floor of the Toronto Dominion Centre in an attempt to prove to a group of visitors that the glass was unbreakable. He had apparently performed this stunt many times in the past, having previously bounced harmlessly off the glass. However, the glass did not break, but popped out of the window frame, and Hoy fell to his death. Number 7. On January 12, 2007, Jennifer Strange, a 28-year-old woman and mother of 3 from Rancho, California, was found dead in her home hours after trying to win one of Nintendo's Wii game consoles. KDND 107.9, the End radio station's Hold Your Wii for a Wii contest, involved drinking large quantities of water without urinating. Also, a nurse called the radio station to warn them about the danger in which they were putting people in, but the disc jockeys rejected the warnings. Lucy Davidson, the winner of the contest, was severely sickened while picking up her prize. Civil charges against the radio station were filed by Jennifer Strange's family, and the family was eventually awarded $16.5 million in the ensuing wrongful death lawsuit. Number 6. Pang Fana, a chef from Foshan, southern China, just finished preparing a special dish made from an Indo-Chinese spitting cobra with a serpent's severed head clamped down on his hand, injecting it with a fatal shot of venom. Pang had decapitated the snake 20 minutes earlier, but he was doomed by the cobra's long-lasting reptilian reflexes that persisted even after death. Unfortunately, he died before he could be given life-saving anti-venom in hospital. Number 5. In March 2008, 18-year-old Cameron Bieberly from Florida was riding inside a shopping cart while holding onto the SUV driven by his friend Michael Smith. The cart's wheels struck a speed bump, overturning the small metal cart and sending the teenager into the air. Cameron's body hit the pavement of the parking lot, and he died shortly after. Smith, who drove the SUV, was later sentenced to 4 years in prison, and his driver's license was permanently revoked. Number 4. Brazilian Yaho Maria de Souza had been in bed with his wife Leni when the 1.5-ton cow suddenly fell through the ceiling of their home in Caratinga, southeast Brazil. The cow is believed to have escaped from a nearby farm and climbed onto the roof of the couple's house, which backs onto a steep hill. The man's wife was also in bed with him, but the cow narrowly missed slamming into her. Rescuers took Mr. de Souza to hospital with a fractured left leg but no other obvious injuries. But hours later, he died from internal bleeding. Number 3. German zookeeper Friedrich Reisfeld fed his constipated elephant Stefan 22 doses of animal laxative and more than a bushel of berries, figs, and prunes before the plugged-up elephant finally got relief. Friedrich was attempting to give the ailing elephant an olive oil enema when the relieved beast unloaded. The strong force of the elephant's unexpected defecation knocked him to the ground, where he struck his head on a rock as the elephant continued to evacuate 200 pounds of dung on top of him. With no one there to help, he lay under all that dung for at least an hour before a watchman came along, and during that time, he suffocated. Number 2. In 1975, Alex Mitchell from Kings Lynn, England, died laughing while watching the Kung Fu Capers episode of The Goodies, featuring a kilt-clad Scotsman with his bagpipes battling a master of the Lancastrian martial art, Iki Thump, who was armed with a black pudding. After 25 minutes of continuous laughter, Mitchell finally slumped on the sofa and died from heart failure. His widow later sent the Goodies a letter thanking them for making Mitchell's final moments of life so pleasant. Number 1. 49-year-old Fazhulyu from Kazan, Russia, collapsed in her home after suffering from chest pains, and doctors told her husband she was dead. But that was wrong. She later woke up in a coffin surrounded by sobbing relatives. She started screaming after realizing she was at her own funeral. 12 minutes later, she was dead for real of a heart attack, presumably from the shock. Then she was rushed back to the hospital where she was declared dead, this time for real. Thanks for watching, and subscribe now for more interesting Top 10 videos. Also, don't forget to watch our previous videos.